welcome back to Over the Hill Acres. Today we're going to be working on my hot water tank. There's a venting issue. The vent comes out of the side of the house on which the wind blows directly across, and it just comes up about a foot or two. I installed a new hot water tank about 3 months ago, and I've had to relight the pilot light like 15 times since then. Due to the wind hitting the side of the house, it creates turbulence, creates downward downdrafts, and blows out the pilot light. So we need to extend the pipe up above the edge of the roof line so the wind will go across the top of it. I've had problems with this since I moved in. I wasn't really sure what the problem was, even with the old hot water tank. I got to doing a little research and found out that because of the wall being right there and the direction the wind comes, when it hits the wall, the wind rolls and creates turbulence there, which will create downdrafts. So if it's not blowing the pilot light out, it's not allowing the fumes to go up, and they actually go out the vent at the bottom of the pipe over the hot water tank, which fills the basement, which can cause carbon monoxide poisoning, and we do not want that. So we need to get this extended above the roof and see if this is our issue. So let's get working on that. Okay, the first thing I did was replace this pipe with a double-walled pipe because it comes through the wall and it's close to the wood. When I get that situated where I want, there'll be an inch gap around this, but that will make it safe so there's no fire. You should always use a double-walled pipe going through any wood structure, anything flammable. Now the rest can be single-walled. It's going to run up to the eave and then out and a foot or two above the roof line. So let's get the rest put together. Snapping these pipes together can be a pain in the butt sometimes. Just gotta go slow. They're separated and they have these little ridges on here. You gotta get those to start in there. And that can be the hardest part. Usually if you start on the corrugated end, they seem to go smoother. There we go. Got them. We're using these 10 by 16 by 3/4 of an inch zip screws. I always get the ones that have the hex head on the top, so you don't strip them out. They do make them with like a Phillips head, but they're a pain. The hex head ones work so much better. The wife must be in taking a shower, the hot water tank's going, and that gets hot. Good. Back to the hardware. So I went to the hardware, got 2 new pieces of pipe, and figured I'd pick up a couple clamps to mount this to the wall, which is needed. But let me tell you, the more I thought about it on the way back, these are going back. $37 a piece. Who in the heck can afford to pay $37 for a stupid wall hanger? This just ain't happening. I have the technology and I can build my own. I'll figure something out. I'm not paying $37 for a clamp just to hold this to the wall. I had to buy 2 of them. So I'm gonna go see what I can find in my shop. I'm gonna build something and we'll go from there. I figured out my situation. I have 2 of these in the shop over there. Harbor Freight, $1.50. 4-inch hose clamps, $1 a piece. $2.50 for 2 sets of clamps to put this up. $37 clamps are going back for sure, definitely. Let's see how this goes. Okay, now you can't tell me that that's not going to hold. That's into the wood in there. Nice sturdy steel clamp, hose clamp. There's nothing wrong with that. Paying $37 for those other clamps are ridiculous. Now I can put one more up top when I get up there and we'll be doing good. That's just ridiculous. I removed the rubber coating that was on here because this gets hot and that'll melt. So that works just fine. Unbelievable. $37. Can you believe that for that clamp? For this thing. Duravent. Unbelievable. And that's why you're paying so much for it, because that's a brand name. They didn't have any off-brand ones. So we will be returning these. That's $80 worth of clamps for 2 of them, and I did them in $5 for 2. Well, I got the exhaust pipe for the hot water tank finished up. It took me a few minutes extra because Mother Nature decided she thought we needed a little more rain, which we really didn't at this point, but hey, it is what it is. So I had to take a break, go change my sweatshirt, finish getting it up there. I got one little bracket I need to make. I'll do that when I go to work on Monday. I'll fabricate one. I want to put it up at the top where the goes up above the roof line so I can connect it to the roof so it's sturdy up there. Right now I just put a hose clamp on that and connected it to the gutter. That'll hold it in place till Monday. Then I'll make a good bracket and get it attached onto the roof. So that project's done. It's not raining right now. It's time to check on the bees. The first time I'm going to inspect the hive since I got them last week. Let's go ahead and see what they look like. It's kind of new to me, so I'm going to take a few extra minutes and look them over good and see what's going on. And of course, now the sun's out and it's getting humid. I got to put this jacket on here shortly and start working with the bees, so I'll be sweating by the time I'm done here. But first we got to get the smoker fired up and get the hive open, and then we'll check in there and see what it looks like. This is just an inspection. I'm not doing anything else. Looking to see if they're laying eggs, see if I can find the queen, all those sorts of things. So let's do a little experimenting. There we go. There we go. Now she's burning. That's what we're looking for. Okay, let's get suited up. Undo my strap here. I strap them down instead of just a rock on top. I don't want to take the chance of them blowing over. Yep, they're buzzing around in there. There. Okay, let's set this one aside for a moment. Let's see if I can find a queen. Oh yeah, bunch of brood on this one. Right there she is. I found the queen. She's marked. I don't know if you can see her. She's got the little white mark on her. Nice. Interesting. I'm not 100% sure everything I'm looking at. There's pollen on this one. Okay, that's cool. Tons of brood. Nice. Oh yeah, larva. We got larva, brood. They're really filling out the comb. Oh yeah, there's eggs. Nice. Well, you can really feel the heat difference too. They do create their own heat. Because they've been in here a week. They're starting to build out one of the frames that were already in here. So that's good too. Nice. They aren't really filling out any of the other ones yet. So we'll give them time. We're starting to work on the back side of this one, but nothing much yet. Oops. Sorry, guys. Okay. All the black frames are doing really good. They're starting to build on this one finally. This is one of my new originals. So I'm not sure how fast it takes them for them to build out the frames and stuff, but they're going. I found the queen. There's a lot of activity in there. It's been kind of wet and cool out, so I'm sure that's part of the reason. So we'll seal them back up here, leave them be for another 7 to 10 days, and then I'll go check them again. I come out and look at it every day just to see if the bees are moving around and make sure I haven't had any critters out here messing with it. So let's seal it back up and let these girls do their thing. So I think this is going to be a real fun hobby. I'm going to get a couple more hives. I'm going to order another one here this week and hopefully get that going. If not, I'll keep it around in case these ones swarm or I need to split them. By next year I'll have another, 2 of them probably. So I'm looking at only 3 to 4 hives tops. That's all I want to play with and work with. I'm not out to sell this stuff or anything. I will use the honey for family and friends and the bees to do some work around the farm for me. So that'll work out great. I really enjoy this so far. I'm going to look into finding a course here hopefully this fall to go to and do some studying on what I'm looking for and to help keep these things going. There's a lot to learn on them. I think it would be foolish just to jump into it and think you know it all and try to do them without having some formal training. The more I talk to people, the more I really understand there is quite a bit to this. So everything looks good. I didn't see any mites in there or anything, or any beetles or any wax moths yet. So we'll keep an eye on it. And in July, they say I should be treating them for the mites, so I got to start doing my research on that. That's coming up soon. So let's let these girls settle down and go back to the house and find something else to do. I think that'll be it for this video. I appreciate you coming along, and I hope you all have a good weekend. God bless.